Hey guys and girls, I'm James. Welcome to the channel. Today we're taking a look at the Syma EX220W. Cool little GPS drone with brushed motors. Comes in a really nice package with 2 batteries and stuff. But let me tell you a story before I get into how awesome this little drone is. I can't believe it's been about 8 years ago. I was looking at getting a DJI Phantom 2. They were about $1,500. I was walking through Nebraska Furniture Mart and I saw this AEE D10 or A10, whatever it is. And I thought, man, this is only $750. I'm going to get this drone. Well, within a few minutes of its first flight, I flew it into my neighbor's Suburban. I thought drones were stupid and they're not for me. But since then, I've learned a lot about drones. And man, they have changed so much over the past 8 years. As I paid $750 for this one, this little guy's even better. And right now on Amazon, this one's with $15 off, I think it brings it down to $129. And this is a much better drone than this one. It's way smaller, it's foldable, comes in a nice package with 2 batteries, has a better camera, the GPS works much better. Main thing too, I really like is to look at the interface with this app. It tells you how far you've went away, how high you're off the ground, how fast you're going, your longitude, your latitude. You can switch between camera and video. There's a map down here that'll show you where you're at on the map. So you can use the autonomous flight features because it'll do waypoints, it'll follow you, it'll circle you, but mainly it'll do return to home, which means it's connected to the GPS, the global positioning system, and all those satellites are connected to the drone and it tells it where to go. So if you panic in a situation, you can hit one button and it'll return and come back home within a couple feet of where it took off. It'll take really good photos. The video, it's okay. I mean, especially on a day that's not very windy, it's good practice because it only has a 1-axis gimbal. So it goes up and down, but it doesn't pan or tilt. You might be saying, maybe I should get one of those drones. Well, that's 2 to 3 times as much. And as a beginner, this camera is very well protected. If you look right here, if you crash it, you're probably not gonna break the camera. That's the #1 thing that people break on cameras is that 3-axis gimbal. And if you break that, it's gonna cost more to repair that than what the drone is worth. So, but how does it fly? That's the main thing. All right, well, let's go out and fly it, and I'll show you how great it flies and how the camera works and everything. Then I'll sit down, and the longest part of this video is me showing you the interface with the app and all the functions of the drone. So if you want to skip past that after the flight and go straight to the final review, there's chapters underneath, and you can see how to skip that. So, a little bit windy outside, so let's go put her up in the air. Let me start out by saying Syma did send me this drone, but they have no input on the review. This is my honest review, and they did not pay me for this review, and they have not seen it before it was posted. So the first time you take any drone off and you put it up in the air, you need to let it just sit for a minute and let the GPS signals get locked into it, especially the first time you ever take it off. And I did do the compass calibration and see how it's just rock steady. I'll show you in a minute. I did not do a compass calibration on another day, and it was toilet bowling on me. And when I read about in the forums a lot with these budget drones, people are complaining about toilet bowling. But this is the first time I've ever flown this drone. It is rock solid. It's a little bit of wind, but you can see the GPS is really holding it into position. Like I said, this interface with this app gives you all the information that you need. How many satellites you got, your distance, speed, battery, reception, recording, everything's right there. It's very easy to read. If you look at the right-hand corner, that is the camera pointing down. You can turn that off, but if you want to leave that on, you can. This is me trying to do follow me. The follow me doesn't work good because it doesn't have a 3-axis gimbal if you're trying to follow a subject. But if you set it to follow the remote, it does much better. See, it'll start locking in onto you, but it's really, you can't use it to lock onto you. So just make it, there's 2 choices when you hit follow me. It'll be person or it'll be to the remote. And so that right there, it's following the remote. You can walk your dog or something like that. You're not gonna be able to ride a bicycle or anything. It's a budget beginner drone. It's fun to play with, and it will teach you how to use the interface and do different things with drones. So if you touch that map, this is what it looks like. It shows you where the drone is. That's if you want to do waypoints. Again, it does not have obstacle avoidance. So if you set it out to waypoints and there's an obstacle or a tree in the way, it's going to run right into it. So my suggestion is, the only one I really like to do is a circle me. And of course, the return to home worked fantastic with this drone. So here's some pictures out of the drone, which are really good. For a budget beginner drone at $129 to take photos like this is very impressive. Of course, the video is not going to be very good because it doesn't have a 3-axis gimbal, but the gimbal is very well protected. Usually the first thing that people break when they get drones is the gimbal. And if you break the gimbal, then the drone's pretty much worthless because it costs more to repair that than the drone is worth. So this will give you really good practice to put the drone up in the air and learn how to fly it. So you're not going to be able to look at what's called the FPV. The first person view is what you're looking at on the screen. And if it's really choppy like this, it's kind of disorienting. So it's better to do a visual line of sight flying the drone in the beginning. So here I do a hand launch, but I haven't calibrated the compass. So automatically it'll start toilet bowling. It'll be hard to control. You think there's something wrong with the drone because it's acting all weird. But you know how when you get in your car and you start driving and the GPS tells you you're going the wrong way because it didn't know what the front and the back of the drone is. So that's why you calibrate the compass. So the satellites know what's the front, the back, and the top and the bottom. Eventually it'll start trying to lock into it, but it's so important to calibrate the compass every time. I wish it wouldn't even take off if it wasn't calibrated, but you can do that. You can take off the drone without even setting the gyros. So setting the gyros and calibrating the compass is very important. So it's best to make a pre-start checklist. So in my next video, I'm not going to just show you how to make a pre-start checklist, but why, and go over every different aspect of the items that you need to do to a drone to make it function correctly and make it safer for you, the drone, and everyone else around you. So overall, I'm really impressed with this drone because drones keep getting better and cheaper and better and cheaper. And to have a GPS drone at this price point checks a lot of boxes. And that just takes away a lot of the anxiety for being a first-time drone flyer. So if you hit return to home, just make sure there's nothing in between where it's going to land. So it's best to start out in an open field. So let's go back inside and let's go over the interface with the app and all the functions of the drone. All right, let's see what he weighs in at. He weighs in at 189 grams. How much is that? It's a little bit more than a 5-ounce can of tuna, but this still would hurt you if it hit you going 15 miles an hour, right? Especially something with blades. When you open the box, you're gonna get a really nice carrying case. I mean, sometimes drones don't come with carrying cases, but this one is a really nice one. It's got a really nice handle. It's got a zipper. When you open it up, it's got 2 folders, one in the back here, and then 3 knitted ones here. Holds the remote, the drone. It comes with prop guards, and it comes with 2 extra blades. They are labeled A and B. And on the drone, it's got this nice little wheel and these 2 little things you can hold on to, and you press down and turn it, and they pop right off very easily. No screws or anything like that. So the camera right here, the gimbal goes up and down. You can move it with the remote, but look how protected this camera is. And you may think, man, I wish I had a 3-axis gimbal. But as a beginner flyer, if you look, this is the #1 thing that breaks when you crash these drones is these gimbals. And if you crash this and you got to repair this gimbal, it costs more to repair it than what the drone is worth. So you can get really good photos, and on a calm day, you can get some good video. But it flies really good. I love the 2 lights in the front. Kind of has that antique car looking in the front, and then the lights are in the back. I'll show that to you. I'll show you that when we're setting the drone up. Also has an optical flow sensor on the bottom. It can also be used as a camera. Very disorienting to look at the camera straight down. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that is an optical flow sensor, which helps it hold its altitude very well when it gets close to the ground. On the remote, it does take 4 AA's in the back. Your phone goes in here, it's spring loaded, your phone fits right in there, you turn it on right here. You turn the drone on right here. And it also comes with prop guards. It comes with 2 batteries and a charger. It slides on really easy. They're 1300 milliwatt batteries. You're gonna get about 13 minutes of flight time. It's gonna take you about an hour and a half to charge. So on the drone, it's turned on, but the controller is not bound to the drone. See how it's blinking red right there? So what you gotta do is you gotta go up and down on this stick. Here, now it stopped blinking, but now your gyros aren't set. So make sure it's on a flat surface. There's a little gyro in there, and you pull down and to the right. And they'll blink again. Now the gyros are set. So you could actually hit the button right now and take off if you didn't want to use the app and you didn't want to use GPS, and you could fly it that way. But if you want to use the camera and you want to have it locked into GPS to have all the autonomous flight features, then you got to hook it up to the app. I flew it with my phone, but let me show you on my iPad. So it comes with a really nice instruction manual. You turn it to page 4, open up your camera to iOS, takes you to the App Store. My favorite thing about this drone is the interface with this app. It's far beyond what your average budget drone is. It's better than some of the nice camera drones that I use. You can open it up, you choose which drone you have, but it's not gonna work because it's a Wi-Fi drone. So what you have to do is go back to your settings, open up your settings, go to your Wi-Fi, and you'll see drone, tap that. Now it's connected. Now you can go back to the app, and now it's gonna let you do what's called a compass calibration. And this is really important So you know how when you get in your car and you drive off and the GPS tells you to turn around because it doesn't know which way you're going? Well, that's what, you can't do that with the drone. So that when you calibrate the compass, it knows where the front and back and top and bottom of the drone is. So if we hit this button right here, and the lights start blinking, and we're gonna spin it 3 times this way.
Until they
quit, and then you're gonna hold it 3 times this way.
And you're gonna spin it
until they're solid. And now they're solid, so the compass is calibrated. That takes a little bit of practice, but you'll get the hang of it. So I just love the interface with the app. Right here, it's blinking because we're not getting these satellites because we're inside. Right here, you can look at the camera on this thing. My goodness, it takes really good photos, but the color saturation on this is really good. This is your downward facing camera. I don't know why you'd ever use that, but it's really just the optical flow sensor. You can use VR goggles. The return to home button is right here. You can go back and look at your videos right there. Right here is where you can do the hand gesturing, or you can have it circle you. It's not going to do it because it's not in GPS mode. And then right here is where you do your waypoints. Right here, it's showing you where you're at. If you want to lose your drone, you can go to that. It shows you the height, the speed, and right here, how far away it is. Right here, you can change the speed, priority. Right here is where you switch it from camera to video. And then here you can take a photo. You can also, if you watch this, you can take this and you can pinch this if you want to zoom in on the camera. Right here, you can take photos. You can switch this right here, take a video. Have a little countdown timer, and it shows you how long it's taking videos. Right. You can also put an SD card in right here. I just use the app if you want to. So on the remote, this moves the gimbal up and down. You press here to take a video and press here to take a photo. You turn it on and off right here. Right here's your return to home, and your takeoff and landing button, and this is how you can start the gyro calibration if you want to do it. Very, very simple remote, very easy to use. Like I said, you can fly it with the remote. And then on this side, you press down to change the speed from 50 to 100. I wish that was a button. And then on this side, you press it to go into headless mode, but don't ever use that. It shows you the battery on it. And if you want to look at the pictures that we took, you can press up here. There's the pictures that we took, and then you can look at the video that we took. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's go back for our final review. So, thanks so much for watching the review of the Syma EX220W. What do I think about it? Well, I think it's one of the best values on Amazon. You're not going to find very many GPS drones for $129. You can on Banggood and some other products. You can find a GPS drone, maybe even with brush motors at this price point, but it's going to have to be shipped from a slow boat from China, and it's going to be from a company you've never heard around. I mean, Syma's been around a long time. Matter of fact, one of my first drones I ever bought, besides that AE, was one of these little toy drones from Syma. And so I think that was 7 or 8 years ago. So they've been around a long time. So should this be your first drone? No. Syma also makes a really cool little X20 pocket drone I'll be reviewing soon. And these are good to learn how to fly a drone with, because you fly it around the house, let your dogs chase it, and sooner or later your subconscious takes over and you don't even have to think about flying a drone, because you need to do that before you fly any drone outside, especially with GPS. Most people, they go out, they spend a lot of money, and they come home with something like this because they don't understand the orientation of a drone when they're flying it, and they panic. But what's great about this one, that's what's so great about GPS drones. If you panic, you can let go and hit the return to home button. The flight time's okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still a budget beginner drone, even at $129. I know that's a lot of money, but this drone checks a lot of boxes for $129. But it's still a whole lot better drone than I paid $750 for 8 years ago. And it folds up and it fits in this really nice, cool little case, and it comes with extra batteries. And that one only came with 1 battery. So, as always, if you got something out of this, please like and subscribe. Subscribers mean everything to me on this channel, and I'll see you in the next one.